So I recently had a bank account with Sovereign Bank, part of Santander. Global Bank of the Year, Sovereign Bank. Anyway, the bank's changed names so many times over the years that I was just like, alright, I gotta close this bank account. So I started using that bank card for everything just to get the money in it down so I could close it. So I went on vacation to Florida, and I lost track of how much money was in the account, and next thing I know, my cards declined. I'm like, oh, I guess I must have used up all the money. I didn't even realize. But that's cool, so I paid with cash or another card or something. And I called the bank, and they're like, you've overdraft $501. And I'm like, what? How could I overdraft $501? Anyway, they explained that they have a new special feature that benefits me. And this is disgusting. I can't believe we, as humans, do this crap to each other. Anyway, every time you overdraft, they will fulfill the transaction, but charge you $35. It's a wonderful benefit to you. Anyway, I overdraft 5 times, right? So it's like $180 or something. So I argued with them on the phone, got them to take a couple of them off, and you know, finally I just ended up paying the rest and was like, screw it. Really, I think if I was doing the morally correct thing, I would have just given them the money that I actually overdraft and not any of the fees, and then I would have heard about it from them for the next 5 years, getting calls every day. Hello, you owe us money. So I caved, and that was kind of not so great on my part. But hopefully by, you know, telling some people about how crappy it is here, a couple people won't get bank accounts there, so they will get some kind of negative you know, feedback, negative results from doing this crappy thing. But what I really want to talk about is how humans create these terrible situations for ourselves. Like, life can be fun, but we encourage these crappy behaviors toward each other. And you know, like in the business world, you gotta be ruthless and screw everyone over, and that's the way to do it, because that's how you make money and, you know, get patted on the back, and then you go home and have ulcers all night and can't sleep. But anyway, I get home. Oh, well, one of the things I was arguing with them on the phone about was, you know, they have all my information. They have my phone number, my email address. Why can't they just let me know that I'm overdrafting or getting low on the account, right? Just even have an automated thing. That's not that hard to program. Like a thing that just calls me. Hello, Jaimie, your bank account is low. Goodbye. You know, that's it. Anyway, they're like, we don't do that. I'm like, fine. So I get home, and I just didn't really keep track of things, so I was like, maybe they just had this overdraft thing, and I somehow accidentally agreed to it, and I didn't even know. I find in my mailbox when I get home, I notice saying, we're now offering overdraft protection. Costs $35 per overdraft transaction. Send this paper back, fill it out, to, you know, receive these new benefits. Because we generally won't, you know, honor your transactions unless you send this back. I wish I had that in my hand when I was on the phone with them, because I really would have told them that whatever, and I probably wouldn't have paid it, because, like, I didn't send the thing in. I didn't ask for the overdraft protection benefits. So then, to put the icing on the cake, the next 5 things in my mail, 5 notices that I have overdrawn. So they could take the time to print it out on a piece of paper, waste some ink, stick a stamp on it, spend like the money and the time and the energy to stick this in the mail it to me, but they can't spend the time and the energy to click a button or two and send me an email, or have an automated voice thing call me, or even just a person on the phone that would still take less energy to call me and say, hey man, you've overdrawn, than it would to print this out and mail it. I mean, obviously they mail it to you because they want to sit there and go, oh, hopefully they'll do it a couple more times before they realize, and the mail won't get there for a few days, so ooh, we can think about our greedy little minds, and ooh, we'll get our hands on their money. I mean, I should take my money out of the bank, put it in a steel box, bury it in the forest somewhere, it'd be better off. Anyway, I think it's just disgusting how we have let this culture get to the point where we're just like screwing each other over left and right. And people encourage it all the time. And they anyway, even if you just put a little bit of energy into resisting this kind of thing, you know, when someone's nice to you and does something cool, something that's beneficial to you and other people, go out of your way a little bit to do something nice for them. And then every time someone screws you over, put a bit of energy into giving some kind of negative feedback. And I got some of the charges reduced, but I ended up paying the rest. You know, I really probably should have just told them to take a hike, but at least I can, share my experience here and possibly have some negative repercussions for them that way. Anyway, the world has the potential to be an awesome place. I mean, like, people can be happy as long as we don't do crap like this to each other all the time. But anyway, I'm gonna go do some